Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So, let's see, I don't know, about 20 to 3. I don't know how well you guys can see that through the reflection. So about 20 to 3, it is April 24th, Friday, 44.9 degrees. It's chilly. 44.2 degrees. You can see the big Friday there, but the clock is off. Batteries are in charge. My Energizer is in charge. And you can see we got the whole overcast thing going on. I think winter came back for us. So a few different things. Just quickly, my Kubota tractor's ripe for an oil change. So I went with the OEM Kubota parts for it. I don't know. Is it worth an extra? I think these things were like 15. No, yeah, just under $15 each. $29 for the two of them to have them delivered to the house. They come wrapped. I probably could have converted them to frams. Figure out what the equivalent fram was, and got a fram for $6, $7. Is it worth twice as much money to have the oil filter from the OEM and to have it wrapped in plastic? Right, the frams just come in a box. They typically don't put plastic around them. I don't know. Kubota tractor would be very expensive to replace, so I'm using the right oil filters and keeping up with the oil changes in hopes of not having to replace that tractor anytime soon. So that was $29. These were $10 for the four of them, so $2.50 each. You might recognize them there. The bolts that secure the rear end on a Honda 185 or 200S. Any of those, the bolts will be about the same. So I'm coming off of a 2-day rotation, my short rotation, so to speak, 2 11-hour nights, so I work those, and it was interesting. One of the day shift guys and one of the night shift operators both pinged me and said that they heard I was leaving, and I said, oh, that's cool, news to me. And the day shift guy supposedly was offered my job. So as I was floating around, I caught up with my manager and I said, hey, I'm hearing rumors I'm leaving. And he responded, yeah, that's news to me. And I go, did you hear anything? He said, no. I said, well, good. I haven't put my papers in yet. So he kind of chuckled and he said, I know. When it's time, I'm supposed to tell you. And I said, that's true. I'm not going to retire until you tell me that it's time for me to retire. Anyway, I got one of those kind of a sad phone call. I uncovered my table saw, so you might be able to wonder why. My cousin Robert is a couple years older than I am, and he was at his daughter's house putting in some flooring. You know, that prefab flooring that, for us, they got that flooring warehouse place here on the East Coast. I don't know if it's all over the place, but anyway, you buy this prefab flooring. You try not to get it from China because they say it emits nasty gases, especially if you have children around the house, but whatever. But anyway, he was in prefab flooring at his daughter's house, and he was using a table saw, very much like this table saw. Note that it's unplugged, right? And he was cutting flooring, and he was right toward the end, so he was about done. And however he was doing it, he was using his right hand, and he got bit. The blade bit him. So his thumb appears to be okay. His pinky is broken in 2 places, but it's there. The ring finger on his right hand is no longer. They picked it up and put it in ice And he went to the local hospital, then he took an airplane or a helicopter to Denver, but they decided that they'd rather try to save the other two fingers. So they have them back on. Supposedly he had some of the best people in Denver work on it, and he's hopefully okay. Guys, I'm going to be 57 in a short period of time, a few weeks. And, there's a lot of things I do, and there's a lot of things I do even better than my contemporaries. Typically, my contemporaries, I could work alongside them all day, and people that are 20 and 30 years younger than me, at the end of the day, we're exhausted. The difference is tomorrow they get out of bed and shake it off and they could go out and play again. In my case, tomorrow I get out of bed and I'm dogging it and hurting, but given enough motivation, I can even keep up 2 days in a row. Probably not 3, but I could get 2 in. No matter if you're 57 or you're one of the young folks, getting bit by a saw isn't a good thing, right? And we all, in our minds, keep your fingers away from the blade. Make sure you use, a push block or a guide, a guide on one side, a push block on the other to make sure you don't get bit, on and on and on. My cousin's been working with his hands his entire life. And it was a moment's lapse, and he got bit. So, I don't know, I don't want to tell you guys what to do or anything, but it's a good thing to learn from other folks' lessons. You don't need to get out and get bit by a saw to say, wow, I should have used a push stick, or I was really too tired to be using that saw, or I was using the wrong saw for the job. Perhaps he could have used one of the, Harbor Freight sells them as multi-tools. I call them vibrating saws. I mean, maybe he could have been using that to make the tiny little cut he was trying to make instead of the table saw, or maybe he couldn't have been. But no matter what, guys, you don't need to cut your fingers off. For him, it's going to be a life-changing event. He's walking around. He feels fine, other than his hand's a little painful, right? I mean, it wasn't like he was hit in the head or, kicked in the nuts or anything, or, it's not like he had cancer or a car wreck that removed, his entire arm. But he feels stupid because he knows better than to get anywhere near the blade, and he got near the blade and he got bit, and he got bit hard. And, for work, he's going to be out of work for a period of time. And if you're in your late 50s, that's never a good idea, because the boss begins to wonder if he needs you anymore, and if he needs to pay somebody at your salary rate. A lot of times the boss begins to think that maybe he can hire somebody younger, or split your responsibilities up and give your responsibilities to the young folks or other folks, and save some money. So that's not helpful. We're coming up on summer. He likes to water ski. He likes to work around his house. He's got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of projects going on, and kind of hard to do when you have one hand you have to kind of keep elevated and clean and dry, and you can't traumatize it, right? You can't be walking around, banging your hand against stuff, right? It's delicate at this point. So please, whether you're driving a car, or using a circular saw, or a table saw, or a band saw, or, climbing under a car that's, on those rickety old jack stands, think twice, get hurt 0. Maybe think 3 times and get hurt 0, right? There's no use. We don't have to get hurt, guys. For all of us who are in the YouTube garage, or for those who just, watch videos, whatever, please, once again, think twice, think 3 times, get hurt 0 times. There's no reason to have to get on an airplane to get your fingers put back on. Anyway, folks, I want to keep this moving. I'm off this rotation, right? So I'll have a few days off, and I don't think I got any family commitments, so I got to keep stuff rolling, right? I'll be able to dedicate myself full time to the Horde this weekend. I do have some things I have to do, like a Kubota oil change, and actually my entire fleet's ripe for oil changes, so I gotta think about and get that kind of crap moving. But other than that, I should be playing in the Horde the whole time. Anyway, protective wear. Wear your goggles, wear your face shield, wear your gloves. Use a push stick when you're playing with saws. Please don't get hurt. Don't want to see any of them tragedies on videos. You could go out and find them if you're interested in watching people get their fingers cut off. They get 1 million views, but let YouTube keep its 1 million views, and you get to keep your fingers. Folks, thanks for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and enjoy all your days with all your body parts intact. Bye now, folks.